late afternoon. I thought just come out for a wander, for a stroll up the lane. It's a lovely afternoon. You won't see a thing there because it's sun. I don't know if you can see this. Just looks really dark. I'm looking into the sun. We're about caught up with stories, you know, now. Well, you're more or less up to, well, 2018 I think it was when we bought that motorhome that we're in now. Twat. Yeah. I didn't start YouTube until last December during lockdown, so quite a few of our trips when I first got this motorhome that we never videoed. I didn't used to do YouTube then. Spent most of my time on Facebook trying to promote my art, but it didn't come to anything, I'm afraid, didn't that? So here we are, we're more or less all caught up with the story. I set off telling you from being 15-year-old, and I'm afraid there was a 20-year lump in the middle where not a great deal happened. We are here where we are now. All I can do now is, when I think of anything that happened in the past that I haven't told you about, I'll tell you when it comes to my mind. But it were doing things like this, walking down a lane, just out on my own walking, when I really at most wanted to do what we're doing, to just walk down a new lane, walk to see something new, keep seeing something new. You know, you buy a house and you're just looking, no matter how brilliant the view is, it's the same view every day. People say it changes, and I suppose it does. Still the same view. Whereas doing what we're doing, I'll probably never come here again. I'm not saying I won't, but it's likely that I might never walk down this lane again, and I've never walked down it before. And that's what makes you want to do it. What makes me want to do it. Van life. Yeah. It's beautiful. The sun's really low, as it is at this time of year. This time of year reminds me of when Pat were in hospital, when we were in Waddingham, and Thomas, my nephew, Pat's sister's son, he'd been in a fight and got stabbed. I think it was his arm, but it was bad. And he rang me up and said he asked me if he'd come and stay. And at the time Pat was in hospital, and he come and stayed with me. But I wouldn't have any truck with him. He was involved with people who took drugs, and I disciplined. I said I gave him rules. If he were going to stay with me, he had to abide by my rules. but he didn't like it, so that didn't last very long. But the sun was like that. It was at this time of the year. I used to take him out with my tuning, and I always remember when the sun's low in the sky around about this time of year. I always remember that when Thomas come and stayed with me. His mates sent him a letter or something through post, and I picked it up off the floor and I felt it and there were a lump in it, and I opened it and it was drugs, and I threw it on fire. He went berserk. Just another little tale. Look at this, there's a pub here. Just out lane. I've only been walking 10 minutes and we've come to the village. And there's a pub. I wonder if it's well, not open right now. I mean, I wonder if it's still functioning. And a church there in the background. That there is a drawing. That's the kind of drawings I do, or used to do. Yeah. That's an old pub, isn't it? So this is the village. Looks open. Looks as though it's still the Royal Oak. It's still functioning. Look at it, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, it just goes to show. I missed that. And rocks up there. There's a school there. Is it the village hall now? A little village here. Tucked away. I've lived in a village for 20 odd years. I know what village life's like. Wow, interesting little village. It's lovely. Can't even remember what they call this village. Wow. Free range eggs. This leads up to this big house. Look at that tree there. Reminds me of Waddingham a bit, does this? Wow, but I'd have liked to have seen this. Starting to lose my light. There's nooks and crannies all over in this village. It's lovely. A lovely place. You can park there, I know. Car park for the pub, I should think. You could overnight there, you know. Look as though they've got a kitchen actually. Looking at that. I bet they do food. Wow. Great. That was nice. Brilliant little village. That was a surprise. Morning everybody. Well, I went for a walk last night into the village just down the road and I filmed it, so that'll be on here. And we're setting off. We're setting off for a site in a place called Wallerton, but it's near Market Drayton. But we're going to call in at Shrewsbury on the way. Pat's pouring a body warmer on this morning.
Morning. It's a bit big though.
Is it a bit big now, darling? Ain't everything? Right. So we'll see you when we get to Shrewsbury and park up. Okay. See you later.